Folks, welcome to the Talkin Pit. We're here.
Jeez.
Authorblues, MDCT, and Eve. What's up?
Hello.
How y'all doing?
We all have a game to talk about for 10 minutes. New or old?
Yeah.
A game of quality. We're gonna start with Dog, which I think I already have up here. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Let me get the sound bump where it belongs here.
Big surprise out here.
Yeah, listen, here's the thing. I have spent like the last probably 3 years every now and again mentioning on Smite's channel for some reason for people to play King of Dragon Pass, just because I see the questions on Arcade Pit and I'm like, damn, that game's good. I wish people actually would play it. And then, yeah. I got off to play it, and I feel great about that. I think it was a good decision.
I'm a convert. I am a believer now in King of Dragon Pass.
So this game is from 1999, developed and published by A Sharp, which I think only made this game at the time. It kind of did not sell very well because it's extremely odd and a hard sell, although it was reviewed very well. And then as time went on, it kind of slowly got like a sort of sleeper hit, kind of cult classic sort of situation going. And it got a port to iOS systems, right? And it kind of got like new life coming out of that, from that port. And then later on, that port was then ported to the PC version. There's some ups and downs between that port and the original. The short version of it is that there's some stuff that is like flavorfully missing from the iOS version that would have been nice to have, and it's the tiniest bit more buggy. But it has new events that were added to it that smooth out the game experience a little bit, and it's heavily less random, which is overall a good thing. So King of Dragon Pass is really hard to describe what it actually is without you like seeing it in motion. In motion, in quotes.
I saw
it's a
doing this.
It is a clan management sim of where you have to take control of an Orlanthi clan. Orlanthi being a culture in the setting of Glorantha, which was made by Greg Stafford in 1966, ages ago, and probably otherwise best known as the setting in which I think Chaosium owns it now. The setting in which RuneQuest, the tabletop game, is set. So A Sharp then later on developed a couple of sequels to this, or rather prequels actually. King of Dragon Pass is the latest one in the thing. A few prequels, they're all called 6 Ages that start with Ride Like the Wind. Then the second one is Lights Going Out. The third one is still being developed. So this is a clan management sim game that probably in practice has most in common with our Oregon Trail, I guess, with how Auth put it.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what we had come up with, like the marriage of 2 games that fit it really well, and it was Oregon Trail plus something else, and I can't remember what it was.
Princess Maker, that's right. Yeah, it has a lot of the vibes of like Oregon Trail because of like the events that happen along the way kind of happening to you, and you mostly just influence them along the way. Yeah. The clan management stuff, I guess, is slightly like Banner Saga, but also Banner Saga's clan management stuff is like Oregon Trail. So, you know, it's hard to say one is one more than the other kind of thing. And it doesn't have the the strategic combat part. It has a combat part. It is not strategic. So
I remember
fundamentally
that guy's
it's like
down there at the bottom right.
this guy over here.
Oh, you got the good trickster.
Yeah, that's
I
like
got
the
a
only thing I
trickster
remember
too,
from
yeah.
this game.
Just having a good time.
That's Salinarg. He's my guy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and like do a couple of things as we go. This is sea season, the very first season that's going to happen in the year because it's early spring. This is the planting season. Going to war during sea season and going and fighting, bringing your footmen out who are your farmers, and doing that instead of sowing seeds is a really bad idea. So I'm not gonna do that. Although we do have tons of food on it. For anyone who's played this game and you look at my numbers, you go like, what the fuck, Doc? What did you do? This run is going better than any run I've ever had before in this game, period. You can see like there's a couple of people are sick, one person is wounded.
What is one food compared to one cow?
Well, I mean, cows are the number one most important thing. If you have a question of like what is most important in life, and you answer anything but cattle, you are incorrect. So let's go ahead and explore. I don't want my major one to go out in that, and exploring can be kind of a combat-focused thing, so let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, cows in this game are probably the closest parallel to, closest analog to money.
These guys have really good resumes, Dan. It's just...
Heroic.
Oh wow, no one is good at combat in my clan except for my leader, who is don't worry about it. These numbers are ridiculous. So I guess I'll just send out this Orlanthi. That's fine. Loricon over here. Let's go exploring. Right, I probably shouldn't actually go exploring considering that I had a specific event that fucked up all maps, but you know, let's do it anyway. Send a couple of weapon thanes out with them and a few footmen because we can spare a few. Unfortunately, our farmers are working hard, but there are too few of them to care for the crops and the herds. That's because we have a truly astounding amount of land. Alright, hold on a second. So this is where a lot of the meat of the gameplay is. So I passed the first step of C season. Each season is separated into two parts, where the first one is going to be, you know, the first one. So during each of these parts, you can get events happening during them. And these events have some really handsome hand-drawn art kind of thing, as you can see here. And you have a response that you can make for any of these events as they come up. As you can see here, Genesta, one of your Carls, which are Carls being like the freemen of a zone where they're landholders with you know, their families and all of that, is caught doing secret magic around the tool as well. Some accuse her of attracting disease spirits. She denies doing anything at all, but then people start to get sick. And I have 5 options here. These 5 options, none of them are actually guaranteed to be like correct options. And this is actually one of the really cool things about this game of...
So you can't just memorize the events.
Exactly. You can't, I mean, you sort of can, but the thing is that they have multiple results for each one of them kind of thing. And if you wanted to, you can ask basically what your ring, my 7 here, their opinion on what you should do is. For example, Olkala, who is my leader, wants us to outlaw her instantly, or to at least try to use magic to cure her madness. Sartark has no opinion. He's just saying, yeah, she's getting accused of something. Borngold here is, if we kill her, that's fine. We outlaw her first and then kill her, because if we killed them before they're outlawed, that's a crime. But if they're outlawed, then it's not. Our magic is strong, which means he wants us to conduct a divination to see if we have to even do this at all, because it might be that she's innocent. Malia's goddess of disease, pestilence, and the plague. She is one of the unholy trio. Thanks, Hindala. That was not super useful. She's just talking about the lore. Salinark, I had nothing to do with this. That's actually important to know because he's a trickster. And tricksters might or might not have something to do with bad things that happen. Janessa has said and done other strange things since she was caught in that stead fire.
You know,
says Josie, who believes in her innocence.
If I were a trickster, I would say that I had nothing to do with everything. Just as an automatic.
That's also fair.
That's true.
How I would that just would be my t-shirt.
Some tricksters like to be known that that's what they do, though. Like, you know, that's like, of course I did that. It was great. I loved it. It was very funny, wasn't it?
You gotta keep the civvies on their toes.
Our ancestral spirits held her blameless. And here's the thing. They're pretty good at that. Let's try to... Yeah, all right. Our rituals worked and she was cured.
Hell yeah.
I had an item that would then take that magic back. So that's pretty good. I can go ahead and recruit a few more weapon thanes because why not? All right, now it's fire season. Fire season is war season. This is late spring or to summer kind of thing. This is the best time of year to fight because you're just waiting for the plants to grow anyway, right? And you only need a few left back to maintain those. So let's go ahead and go to war. All of our recent raids have been against the Ormarthi, except for one against the Enzarni. Let's go ahead and check that out. Ormarth, who don't like us. You can barely see that there's the Genesni behind it. That's because, again, the map got fucked up, and sometimes things are just behind other things now. It happens. The map got fucked up by not a thing that I, messed up, but rather an event that happened in-game. It's an actual thing that happened. Go ahead and send 30 weapon thanes, 195 footmen, and let's get 30 auxiliaries out there. Let's go ahead and not bother with bringing any allies, because if we bring allies, then we're going to owe them part of the loot that we take.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. They only have 5 weapon thanes and 93 swordsmen. I feel bad for them. Let's go ahead and just plunder. Let's take captives. And we'll charge, because we're on offense. And see what happens. Alright, well, they were performing rituals, and we just charged into them. And we relentlessly kicked their ass. We took 27 captives, 16 cows, and 8 horses. So you can take prisoners, you can free them, keep them as thralls, kill them, or ransom them. My clan does not take thralls, so doing this, it will anger our ancestor spirits heavily. So I would not want to do that. Could just kill them. No one likes that. I can free them, and that's perfectly fine as well. But you know what the typical thing that the Orlanthi do is that we ransom them off, and then they send us some cash in return.
Mm-hmm.
The Ormarth feel like they have been fucked up enough, and they're offering us tribute.
Hell yeah. Even more
tribute.
Cows!
Let us put them under the thumb.
I'll take the cows and leave them alone for a couple of years. That's fine.
We will raid you whenever we feel like.
Now, I did hear a quest recently, but I can go ahead and do that again if we'd like. And this might not work out because I've done it recently, and the game generally recommends that you do this like once every couple of years, at most. Wait, not that one. Let's go with Linker My Finds the Truth. And that would be my leader, or Carla. So hero questing is an interesting thing, gameplay mechanic that, of the game, right? Where hero questing is sort of like, in setting, it's the people of your clan acting out a story of what the gods do. The thing is that this act is actively magical and quite literally sends you to reenact the story. And therefore there's great rewards you can get for having done this. I can fight darkness, grant knowledge to our people, learn the secrets of a myth, make the quester stronger, or strengthen us against chaos as rewards for doing this quest. Make the quester stronger, and let's try to contact the gods directly. So Carla arrives in a dark and blasted place. The winds are strong and cold, which is good, but they have also a strange stink to them. There are Orlanthi around, but they are dressed in the ancient matter of your ancestors. One of them looks to be a traitor and must be Isseries. Isseries being the god of trade and travel and things like that. So, if you do not come, the trade routes will be confused forever. What you say is true. Without the truth, there can be no proper maps. I will go with you. Then Stormbull. The Stormbull, he hates chaos. That's his thing. So this way, there's chaos to fight, and he just goes, where? I'll come with you. And then the very first thing that happens is encountering a chaos beast. Now, there's options here of like helping him fight the beast directly and lending magic to Stormbull. But don't worry about it. Stormbull literally always gets it. He's really good at fighting chaos.
That's his thing.
Yeah. So the thing about hero quests is that you learn aspects of them throughout the game by, sacrificing to them to learn mysteries of them, and so there is a story that you can follow. And generally speaking, the most likely result is that if you follow the quest, the story, then the quest will go in your favor. But if your character is better at certain things than others, for instance, deviating a little bit is fine, and generally speaking, might be a good idea at times. So part of the south.
Sometimes you can do
sounds
everything
equal.
right and still get your legs chopped off.
Also true.
That's true.
And sometimes getting your legs chopped off is the correct thing to do. That happens more than once in hero quests.
I can attest to that.
I'm not going on a hero
Or lose one
quest.
contest and then win the other. Or won that contest without trying to lose, then it's just memorization, which you then won. You ever get to magic in the center on the way. That the truth. There can be no. So Isseries and Lankermai, the knowing god, are currently arguing of like, well, I mean, listen, finding the truth, is that really that important? Things like that. Without the truth, there can be no travel. Yeah, that's true. That's pretty wise. Here's Grandbread, who wants to grind knowledge into dust and then turn it into bread for him to eat.
Grand bread.
The game questions went on. Then Lankermai and Grandbread decide to get into a questions contest, basically riddles asking over and over again to each other, answering questions. He got so hungry that he just ate the truth as it is, which was like a black twisted nettle. And he was like, well, that then cut his stomach open, then it fell out. And then with the question of, why'd you do that? And then Grandbed gets embarrassed that he can't answer the question because otherwise he would look bad. And so he loses the contest, and with it, all truth forever.
Harsh.
Wow.
So this, of course, is the
harsh.
current state of the truth. It's not great. You don't want to eat that.
Don't eat the truth.
How could she put it back together in its pure form? Well, let's think about it by putting a leather sheet over her head. And then Isseries comes in and asks a foolish question. Let's answer his question, and turns out it unravels the truth right then and there when you answer the question. So Orcarla successfully does a hero quest, and then she's 2 inches taller now as well.
Hell yeah.
She's a bit wounded, but
Sometimes
it
you
turned
lose
out
your legs,
great.
sometimes you grow 2 inches taller.
So, welcome to Earth Season. This is the season which you reap your crops, and therefore, this is the harvest and whatnot. Going out during war during Earth Season is also a bad idea. Hello, Beast. But at this point, I basically covered most of the basics of King of Dragon Pass as it is. There's lots of events that happen during it, various little things to do. This is a thing for Ermal. He loves that stuff. And that worked out great. So I think
It's
that's
great fun.
King of Dragon Pass. This game is really cool, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of dynamic things you have to react to over the
Mhm.
course of it.
Looks neat.
Come on, Beast. Come here.
Thanks for showing it off. I haven't seen enough of this game. It kind of went under my radar, even though it's I would play this. I would play this back when it came out. I would have played it all
Yeah.
day.
You could play it now.
$19.99.
I will.
You can play it now. It's available on Steam, as are its 2 prequels of 6 Ages, Ride Like the Wind, and 6 Ages, Lights Going Out. And probably in a few years, 6 Ages, The World Mended, I forget what that one's going to be called, will also come out.
Cool. I'll do mine real quick. I was
Go
playing
for it.
this game the other day, Mini Shoot Adventures. It's pretty big on Steam. I have some footage I got here. So this game is
Ooh.
it's like a combination Zelda exploring / shmup thing.
Nice.
So you I'm a little bit into it at this point, so I thought I'd show it off from like the mid game because it's got a little bit of a slow start as you earn your power ups, such as boost and dash and jump. But
Falling in water.
you have I'll go over the options later, but there's a lot of nice features in this game, like accessibility options for like difficulty, and just if you really just want to explore, just want to be invulnerable, that kind of stuff's in there. Auto aim on your twin stick. Right now, oh, also even just the regular game, you can undo your entire upgrade tree and change your entire ship if you want to just rotate to damage or range or something like that. I have I've just gotten this new power that lets me do that big burst. It's using the boost meters, which are that blue that shows up on my ship sometimes. It's actually a bar. It lets me do boost, it lets me do that big gun. That big gun digs through walls though, so that's the Zelda aspect of it. But it's also really good damage.
Cool.
Yeah, I was afraid to come up here until recently. So I haven't actually seen any of this area, so I was just checking out some new zones while I went around here for this video. You look around, you find there's so many relics in the options menu. I've only found like 3 so far. This is a race that I must have already done. Yeah, this game feels really nice, and it's a cute little game about a spaceship doing some stuff. You are repairing your friends and finding them in the woods. They give you power-ups. I think one of them is where I got that triple shot from, and every time you help him out, he gives you one more shot on the pile. I don't know what the end game is going to look like, but at some point here, I do turn off all the upgrades so we can see. This is what I'm currently working on. It's some kind of flag. I need to find 4 beacons and light them or something, so I'm looking around for that. Zones.
I love the art style. It's very pretty. Very, very clear.
Yeah. It's a nice clean looking game. So this is a store that has the map and one of those relics. There really is like 30 of them. I've only found a few. One of them was crit rate. That one makes more health drop. So I'm gonna buy that too. And the thing on the end is some kind of like secret area that needs a bunch of pieces. Unfortunately, I don't have the money for it, so oh well. But wait. I just happened to have exactly the right amount. Grab that too. Anyway, the store is just hidden in the wall, so you gotta look out for that kind of stuff. I have this game on. It's not super hard, but the difference between normal and hard was pretty severe. So this is hard. This is all the enemies are healthier. They shoot more. They have faster bullets, stuff like that. Health is not something that drops very often just in the field. You kind of have to go to a safe zone to go get it back. Don't think there's any penalty for dying though. You just go home.
You gotta travel all the way back.
Yeah, you do. I do have a boost. I've been leveling it up to really get going, but there it is. I did not mean to step into a boss fight with 1 health.
Well, too bad.
Yeah, he's pretty nasty. I didn't intend to die in my demo video, so I'm just gonna go in a different direction for a while.
Good idea.
Nice empty forest. It's pretty nice. So I don't know what other power-ups are in here, but the unlocks so far have been boosting and movement and being able to just tear through terrain. I figure there's a couple more yet because I don't think I'm that far in this game. I think it's probably like 10 hours long. I'm not sure. But I definitely have a ways to go yet based on the map. I came down here really early and got crushed. I didn't have a chance at all. So eventually you level up from killing guys, and then you can pick your stat in here. And at this point, yeah, I decided to show off what we started with. The only thing that I have that I didn't start with is this triple shot, so very slow ship with no boost or anything like that, no range. The range is abysmal. It's just
Oh jeez.
You can respec anytime you want.
Yeah. Sometimes you run
Pretty
into
nice.
like a race kind of area where you have to race against an AI, and you can come in here and just give yourself max boost if you want, if you're
Yeah.
really struggling with that. Here's max fire rate, at least as far as I know. So, I was just trying to show the visual difference on this. It does have like scaling costs, so to get level 6 fire rate is way more expensive than just putting one in every stat. Like, not even close to the same price.
Right.
So I'm just kind of defaulted back to my thing here. There are one of the other power-ups that I really suck at finding is a battery pack to make my boost last, like, I think it's like an E-tank's worth of boost, and it automatically recharges all the time. So I really don't have anywhere near as much boost as you could have in this game. Based on the UI telling me that I could have 12 of those, I have 2. So I'm pretty weak on the boost.
Not quite boosted yet.
Yeah.
You gotta boost your boost.
Get some boost energy drink.
I came down here to just like cool off from getting crushed by that boss, so now I'm on my way back up there. Gonna take a shortcut. You do have to find the maps, and I don't think I ever found the one for the woods for some reason. But I just bought the one for the zone I'm supposed to be doing, so at least I know where I'm going. The map shows you, it's a really hard jump for the shortcut. The map shows you where you're supposed to go next, like exactly where the boss is that you're supposed to go after next, and in that area you usually seem to get a power-up of some kind. Like boost would be one of them. It also shows you fellas on the map that you're supposed to save. Your friends are missing. Is like, I don't know if they're like sentient, like if you've ever seen Batteries Not Included, like they're sentient ships. I think they are, but in any case, your friends are damaged. You gotta go rescue them. That's the plot.
Gotta help your
Makes
friend.
sense.
Oh, a little ramp.
Yeah, that is the first area. I gotta get revenge on that boss.
Some of my friends got really into this game, and for obvious reasons, compare it to Zelda, but I worry that just like as a Zelda enjoyer, not necessarily like a...
Mop.
I mean, it kind of feels like a free-range bullet hell with the dodging that you need to do. It doesn't feel like as necessarily a Zelda enjoyer that it's necessarily built for me. Like, what elements from an adventure game does it really have?
I would say
outside of just kind of like dungeon exploration.
Unless you turn on hard mode, you're not gonna have too much trouble with it. Like this is as bad as it gets, and it's still pretty reasonable. I wouldn't call it a bullet hell based on this.
Yeah,
but,
this is just regular shoot 'em up density at the moment.
yeah, but there's a lot of exploration, going back and exploring areas with your new abilities, kind of stuff going on. Like Metroidvania style exploration, where you get the ability to traverse things that you were looking at before, and you're like, how do I get that? And then you come back and you can jump over the pit and fly through it. Stuff like that has been what's going on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I decided that my range isn't good enough. I need to do something about the fact that this guy's very dangerous up close. He's got some kind of shotgun, so I'm gonna give myself one more point. I'm looking forward to what a max power ship is going to be like. But yeah, if you struggle with this genre at all, the options in the game, not just the difficulty setting, but the accessibility too, is very extensive.
You did it.
Got his ass.
Defeated the big boy. Got his ass.
I would say this is also a Zelda mechanic, at least like Ocarina of Time. You have to fight a bunch of dudes to open a door, even though you're in the woods. You just have to do it.
You can just leave.
Look at that sick dodges. Nah, this is not as busy as a bullet hell gets. So the difference between shmup and bullet hell is typically how aggressive you are and how evasive you have to be. So I would call it a shmup, yeah.
Yeah.
Killing the enemies makes the game way easier versus a bullet hell where it never really gets easier, it never calms down. I have lit one of the beacons. Whatever this area is now 1/4 done, so I'm looking forward to getting to the next boss and seeing what the next ability is. I have no idea what it's going to be.
Nice.
I thought at some point I would get a jump or something, but it looks like there's at least one more ability to go, and there's a whole bunch of inventory there to fill up with fighting abilities. And I was just showing off the options real quick because, yeah, they're pretty deep. You can get yourself 144 FPS in this game if you want. It's got assisted aiming to the extent where you don't even have to aim. It just shoots the enemies for you, which, you know, just that sounds fun maybe to try out. I haven't yet. And then 3 difficulty settings, and there's some god mode stuff there. That's mini shoot. I've been playing this off stream after I tried it out. It's really good.
Nice.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Looks good.
authorblues. I hear you're up.
Oh, it's authorblues' turn.
Yeah.
It is authorblues' turn.
Okay. Well, yeah, I kind of racked my brain for what I've played recently. And I think the one I wanted to share with everyone was Chants of Sennaar, actually, which is a pretty cool puzzle game. I'm not sure how many people saw it in at least my circles. I think everyone kind of raved about it for a while and convinced me to play it, and I can't recommend it enough. I think it's really accessible and a lot of fun. So I've just started up a new file. I didn't want to go anywhere where it would spoil anything for anyone who's kind of interested in this game, but just enough, far enough that I can start to show some of the mechanics of this game. It's an adventure game where you move around, and you're in this world where you don't speak the language, and you have to figure out what do the words mean in order to make sense of it. And I'll kind of spoil where this game goes a little bit. There's multiple areas with totally different languages, and you don't have to just learn how one language works. You actually have to learn 5 different languages over the course of this game. But they do kind of interesting things with the way they teach them to you. So you sometimes just learn by doing, right? So I have this lever, and when I pull it, the door opens. And so I might theorize what these different words mean. I might think that perhaps, so it's filled my notebook full of these glyphs, and I might theorize that this one means open, because it only appears on the top one, and this one might mean close, and since this word right here appears in both of them, I might imagine that this one means door. And when I go back to the game, now it helps me translate some of those words so I can make better sense of them.
It's really neat.
And the game continues in this way, where you have conversations with people, though obviously your conversations tend to be fairly one-sided. And at certain points in the game, your notebook will be filled with pages where it basically gives you a short quiz. It says, you know, here's a few pictures. What words from your lexicon match with these pictures? And if you get them right, it locks them in, kind of like the way, if you've ever played Return of the Obra Dinn does. So once you prove that you know the meaning of a few words, it confirms them for you. It says, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Excellent.
So here, this note tells me something, but I theorize it's open, open, close, open, close, open. And we'll see whether or not I'm right. So you have to figure out what that actually means. So I'm going to assume that open means to actually turn the water on. Open, open, close. How do I get that prompt to go away? Oh, it's desperately wanting me to click the middle button to show me what it wanted me to see. And so this isn't a full confirmation that I know what's going on, but this reinforces my understanding. And now it gives me a little quiz to confirm that I understand this. So I can plug these in if I want to. I can say, well, it looks like this one was maybe the open, this one's door, and this one's close. And at this point now it tells me the actual answer for them. It looks like I was correct.
Seems like.
Hell yeah. Learning.
So we'll play a little more of this, but while I do so, I kind of want to talk about how this game works in the long run. The idea is that there's a lot of these civilizations that are near one another, but they don't communicate with one another because, as I've already mentioned, they speak totally different languages, so they can't communicate with each other. And part of the game is understanding that not every language has all of the same words or ideas, and figuring out how to communicate ideas to other people when they lack those words in their vocabulary. So he is telling me something. I don't recognize any of these words, but it seems to me like if he just saw me for the first time, this might be a greeting of some sort. So I'm going to just assume that this is hello. And here he's trying to communicate something to me, but I don't know exactly what that is. Maybe we'll have more information as I do a little more. He points at the gate for me to pull something. And seems satisfied with that.
That could be pull that lever or open the gate or things like that.
Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. It can help sometimes to see those terms again, and you can always return back to previous conversations that you've had as well.
Or maybe even like, could you help? Stuff like that as well.
Yeah, so here, this looks like something he said, this term right here he said before. We saw it before in his first dialogue. You see, these are the elements of the first dialogue. So he said this, then this, then this. And this term right here, this third one, was him referring to something that appears in this next dialogue. So let's see what it is that he's trying to communicate here.
Between this and Tunic, it seems like translating games are a thing to do.
Yeah. It's interesting because language itself, I think, is a very interesting puzzle mechanic. I think it's very easy to kind of like set up a world in which just the lack of ability to understand is enough. And here the game's prompting me to try to see if I know anything. So here he had said this thing, which I thought was a hello. That looks like a greeting. And here he's pointing away and then pointing at himself. So I think maybe this first thing that he said to me is something like, well, here, this was the word that he used to say that he was going to open a door. So this is maybe like the I word. And so this might be you. Yeah. And so his first message was probably hello, you, and I guess I could theorize that this is maybe help. I can't confirm that right now, but that seems to make sense with the message that he gave me.
It's nerd.
It's nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Called you nerd.
I hate to get clowned on by a guy who doesn't speak the same language as me. Okay, so based on what I have so far, this seems like he's saying you open the door, so I'll gladly oblige.
The art itself almost reminds me of like MC Escher paintings.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
The very bright colors with the outlining is very Mobius.
You.
Yeah, so I don't know what he was trying to say there. He said you and then something. It might be like you cross or... So here's where he's asking for help again, based on at least what I think he's saying. So I'll do that thing. I think the most interesting points of this game are when you reach a new area and you kind of encounter a brand new language and you instantly recognize, okay, so they're maybe talking about the same things, but they don't even talk in the same way. This isn't just like a vocabulary issue, like different languages communicate ideas very differently.
I'm going to assume that grammar will come up at some point. The sentence order, like, you know, verb, objects, noun.
That's a huge piece of it.
Yeah.
And even other things, like for instance, the way that you communicate certain ideas. So like one language might have an explicit word for pluralization, whereas another language, in this game for instance, you just use the word twice to indicate multiple of something. And you have to figure out exactly how to do that. And the game has some sort of more advanced tutorialization for that as well, where there will be points where two people are directly talking to one another, and you actually have to be their translator. So there's points where it will show you dialogue in one language, and you actually have to produce the exact right message in the other language.
That's so cool.
So I have to do something to bring the water level on his side down so he can cross.
I see it. I see it.
Can I just go back and pull this one? And
I think you should find out how to communicate that you need a better bridge.
yeah, I don't know why all their bridges have to go through the water. That's not very helpful at all.
That's the opposite of what a bridge should do.
There was an additional lever across the way that you could have reached.
I missed a second lever?
You gotta go forward, yeah.
Yeah. Forward instead of back off. You know, the basics of video game. It's the equivalent of go right instead of left, because left is always wrong.
Step on the Goomba.
Unless it's the very beginning of Metroid 1, in which case you go left for like one screen, then you go right.
There's another one all the way over
There.
here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then you might be able to get to the lever on the other side of his gate.
I thought he was gonna get that lever.
That's on the other side. How you can't?
I was trying to water for him.
Uh-oh.
Incredible. A double sluice gate.
The seems.
Aha.
So not all of the puzzles are strictly language-based. I mean, they all revolve around the concept of language, but in some of the later areas, you have to solve problems that you really only can get a grasp on the puzzle and what it's asking of you once you understand the messages that are being communicated to you. So they have like a language bent to them, but there is more going on in this game than just that.
Now you gotta go all the way back around.
This game's full of walking.
Yeah.
This is one of them walking simulators people talk about.
Can't
A
believe it.
walking and talking simulator.
Eat your heart, Silent Hill.
Oh, speaking of.
Oh God. Now I know.
Maybe not, but you'll see.
Walking pit.
Okay. So it looks like they use the same word for hello and goodbye.
That makes sense. Easy. That's economical.
Hey, the language economy is dire here.
Yeah.
This is all the words they get. So,
You can only speak
and
so
if
many
for
words
some
per
reason
day.
there's any benefit for you to reread things, and this is kind of where the game goes at this point. You know, once you get through that little bit of tutorialization, you'll see like murals on a wall where it says something. We're missing parts of it, but you have to figure out what some of these terms mean. So here, the double word is indicating a plural of some form. And you have to figure out what these terms mean through interacting with people and seeing more things going on.
So that says LL Cool J, I'm pretty sure. That's two L's
Yeah,
right
pretty
there.
much.
Yeah.
So this right here, I mean, either that's the sun or God. So sun
Could be
or
one and the
God, it
same.
doesn't really. So these are my notes, but I can use this for something. Maybe this is like the people worship God, or God provides for the people, or something like that. And yeah, that's Chants of Sennaar. This is just the first area, but there's, like I mentioned, 5 areas with 5 different languages to learn. And the central concept behind this game is that the people have been divided and they can't communicate with one another. And in doing this, you can help to bridge disagreements and help reunite people.
And water.
And there's a lot of water.
So let me get this straight. Not only are you asking me to learn languages, but I gotta count now too?
Languages
there's
and
one
numbers,
there's
unacceptable.
there's one group of people that are all scientists, and it's really funny because they devote like 3/4 of their language just like the names of different elements and numbers.
Oh gosh.
And so figuring out how to communicate just like normal people stuff in that language is very interesting.
Neat.
Yep. That's Chants of Sennaar.
Nice.
That's a really neat looking game.
Eve, you're up.
Hello.
Wanna play your stuff?
Okay. Yeah, I gave you the video. Unless you want me to,
Yeah, I have it.
you know. Okay. So my game that I just recently played and have been obsessed with that came out about 2 years ago is Signalis.
Mhm.
It is a survival horror game, very much inspired by Silent Hill and Resident Evil. You play as Elster 512. She's what they call a replica, which is a humanoid, robot basically. You're released at the start. Your ship is not doing so hot. It's crashed. And you're looking for someone. So a lot of what I show here is mostly to show off the atmosphere and some of the really good music, and a little bit of the puzzles. But I can't talk about too much stuff without spoiling it, because there's a lot. It is such a beautiful game. It's also a very tragic love story between Elster and a woman who you will meet later on in the game. And it's definitely been a popular one, so I'm sure a lot of people know it, but
I've certainly heard about it.
a lot of what I have here I'll let speak for itself, but
That's not that much about talking then, is it?
that's why I was worried. My video may not be great.
It's got a handsome art style.
Yeah, I really like it. It's kind of got that like PlayStation 1 look to it, but very, very well done, very clean.
It has the assembled out of textures models that the PS1 has, but in a high resolution sort of look.
Mega Man
Without
Legends.
it being, yeah, kind of like a Mega Man.
So what's the gameplay loop in this game?
So we'll get to that in just a second here. These are some of like the opening cutscenes and stuff.
Okay.
I don't really show off anything that isn't from like the start of the game, because again, I don't want to spoil it, because there is a lot to it. But it is similar to like Resident Evil or Silent Hill. You're exploring this facility. You find yourself in the Sierpinski facility, which is like this living and mining quarters above a mine. There's puzzles. Maybe a couple of the inhabitants have gone a little crazy,
It happens.
Yeah. So you gotta defend yourself. So here's the actual gameplay.
Oh, so this is why it's like Silent Hill. It starts right in front of a mirror.
Yes,
Thinking about how it's so fucked up.
There are a lot of very direct references to both of those games, as well as other stuff. And so we have there's two categories of people basically. There's the replicas, the robots, and then there's the Gestalt, which are the humans.
I thought you were gonna say two types of people: dead and alive, or dead or crazy.
Well, that too.
That seems to be true as well.
So the replicas are all, there's different versions. Like this is a star unit. We're an Elster unit, or not a star. That's their nickname. Anyway, this is the lady we're looking for. But they all look the same. So like there's Yules, there's Storches, which are very tall. There's the leader, Falca. There's this thing with bioresonance that you'll learn about. They're all German bird names. Even though Elster is Lstr, they pronounce it Elster, which is apparently German for magpie, which is neat because you're going around picking up all this stuff. So here we find our first weapon, the pistol, and you only have 6 inventory slots, which.
That's very Resident Evil.
Yeah, it can be kind of frustrating, but they did, however, add an update later on. There's our first enemy. You gotta aim, and the more you aim, the longer you aim, the better your accuracy is. And once they get knocked down, they're kind of freaking out like that, and you gotta stomp them to finish them off. Otherwise, they'll get back up. Even
Whereas
then,
that's kind of Silent Hill.
yeah.
Kind of
Even
goes
then,
back
though,
and forth.
they will always be able to get back up even if it's a room you've cleared, unless you can get flares and burn them, but you have a very limited number of flares, so you have to be careful about where you've used. So we saw earlier that we ran into one, non-corrupted replica, and now we're running into a Gestalt who's okay. Maybe not okay, but she's alive, and she's also looking for someone. She's left a letter up here, which we'll go read. Nope, not that one. She's looking for someone named Erica. Let's hope she finds her.
Notes lying on the floor.
Find all sorts of interesting stuff. A lot of interesting imagery, and a lot of dropping down holes. Get used to dropping down holes.
Also like Silent Hill 2.
Mm-hmm. I don't think this Yule's doing so good.
Chop chop.
Not for long.
It's a very gentle chop, you know?
Somebody who loves their job.
Just having a good time.
Really just trying to savor it.
Oh, we got some better weapons here. Let's get that shotgun. Got him.
Shotgun with flechettes. No, those are banned by the UN, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, don't worry about that.
Criminal.
This, so I guess one thing, it doesn't really go into it, but you can figure it out. Uh-oh, we ran out of bullets. That's bad.
Seems like
This game takes place in an alternate version of our own universe. So the same
Remember the UN
planet.
was
I
never
thought it
formed.
was happening in real time.
Damn.
Nope. Yeah. So, like Earth is there, Mars is there, but they all have different names and stuff. But and it doesn't ever directly point it out. Oh, we're not doing so good.
Now you
Oh shoot.
having kind of a bit of problem up. You're getting crustic, I think
Yeah.
is what that said. System is crustic.
If you're a cyborg who gets a blue screen, are you able to call for help, or is the blue screen gonna stop you? Are you done for it?
It's pretty bad. Don't let it happen.
I won't.
Number stations come up a lot in this game. They're a big part of it.
Does the Lincolnshire Poacher one come up?
I don't know.
That
I'll
was
have to
my
research
favorite. Oh, you don't need to research it. Hold on a second. It's this one.
No, I don't believe that one comes up. It's fine.
The pixel art jump scares are very funny for some reason to me. Oh, we ran out of footage.
That's it.
That's the scariest thing of all.
That's it. Yeah. Thanks.
Exactly 10 minutes. Take it.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, that is our Talkin Pit. Thanks for joining me, Author Blues, MDCT, and ohheckitsevie. Those names are up in the chat, so you can follow them real fast, folks.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'd recommend it.
It's a good idea. I believe Emily is doing something, right?
I think
In
she's
like
live
20
already.
minutes.
Yeah, she's got a big thing going on in 20. Oh, she was live. Never mind, she's not live now.
Dang.
Well, I can't host over, but y'all should head that way in 20 minutes, I guess. Here you go.
Mm.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a
Later.
good night.